Drakeo the Ruler's dad just revealed how the Bloods tried to murder Drakeo the first time 2 weeks before his death. His dad revealed the Bloods ultimately wanted to kill Drakeo because Drakeo wouldn't go with their program. He wouldn't let them extort him. He wouldn't want to sign to a label, that the Bloods are associated with. He just wouldn't want to deal with it. He wanted to be his own man. He wanted to be independent, and they couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand that they could not extort him.
So there's a lot of speculation about what happened the night
there is.
Yeah.
Drakeo lost his life. Tell me about what you guys think.
Well, like I said earlier before, it was definitely envy and jealousy, and it was the jealousy and the envy was because their numbers were going down and his was coming up. So pretty much, I don't even think it was something that Drakeo was trying to do, but he was taking and moving everybody out of their slots. And while he's moving them out of their slots, he's moving up. He's moving all the way up, and that was envy. That was envy because, a few people asked him from different groups to sign with their labels, and pretty much not just like everybody thinks it was one story where this group right here asked Duro to sign with the label and he turned him down. No, he turned down at least 4 different big groups and record labels and stuff. So it could be that too. He turned down some big people. And like I said, a lot of people started thinking that he was figuring that he was bigger than the program. And so we're going to show you that you're not bigger than the program. So that didn't just stem from, like everybody put out there, this particular person that he got into it with, which everybody knows who I'm talking about. That wasn't just it. That wasn't just it. It was the climb, and to climb where you are and to stay where you are, you got to make some of us a part of that. And if you don't make some of us a part of that, we're going to have to, you know what I'm saying, let you know that you're not bigger than the program. And Duro had that attitude. Remember the kid that left at 5 years old to go to the donut shop. Now I'm doing what I want to do. You're not going to tell me what I can do. I'm going to the donut shop someday. He's a grown man now. So what? I'm not signing with y'all. What you going to do? Well, you guys want a war? We're going to have a war. You catch me in the street. Well, just make sure that you ain't slipping either.
I'm so glad y'all hearing it from the horse's mouth, because when I said it, I was capping. When I said it, I was a liar. When I said it, I was a clout chaser. Bruh, the Bloods had a problem with Drakeo the Ruler because Drakeo the Ruler wouldn't sign to DJ Mustard. That led to his beef with YG. That led to his beef with the Bloods. And then things escalated past the point of no return. That's what took place. Hear from Drakeo mouth himself why he didn't sign DJ Mustard and how that created, hostile tensions.
So then you sign under Mustard?
I didn't sign.
Nah?
Nah, I was just fucking with him, like,
Okay.
just doing music and shit. But after that, like, I don't know, like my brother and everybody was like, I don't know, maybe they seen something that I didn't see back then. So like everybody used to just be like, nah, just wait, like, don't do nothing right now, like, just wait, like, you got your own thing, like, you might not see it right now, but like your shit is different, bro. Like, you got other shit, like, just wait, like, so I don't know, like, started getting weird, like, I don't know, like, I guess I didn't want to sign, so then that's, I guess, when, like, people from his group, and, like, guess they was mad at me because I didn't want to sign, so it started getting weird, like, it started coming to, like, pull up at the studio session, oh, we got whoop-de-whoop in here today, like, come back another day. I started seeing the weird shit that was going on, and it's just like, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just part ways, because, like, if ain't fuck with me because, like, just to me genuinely, then I'm not finna fuck with you. Like, it shouldn't have to be like, oh, if you don't want to sign, then all right, you type. Like, that shit, I don't know. So I started doing my own after that. Like, start shooting randomly, and that I'm responsible for it basically because I start beefs with people and pass out guns, and I don't know. I'm John Gotti, I guess.
Well, how did the beef with RJ start? Because you guys have a big song together.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And then you guys were both affiliated with Mustard.
Yeah.
Was it when you kind of stopped messing with Mustard? That
Pretty much, yeah. When I went
and RJ took Mustard's side?
Yeah, I guess that's what it was like. Like, I guess, like, I can't really speak for him, but from what I got out of this, what we got, it was like, they was basically like on some, oh, you type, you don't want to with us. All right, we're going to send these at you. Like,
Draco dad did something very slick during this interview. He did something very slick that not too many people caught on to, okay? So he began to tell the story about how the Bloods tried to get Draco at Rolling Loud 2 weeks before Draco was killed at the Once Upon a Time festival. But in telling the story, the dad did something very slick that I believe was intentional. I don't think this was a coincidence. After he told the story of them wanting to kill Draco or beef with Draco because Draco wouldn't sign a DJ Mustard, the father then followed up with this mistake.
So like I said, the jealousy and the envy start kicking in, coming from different groups. Because you got to understand, before that incident happened to him, you got to understand that a group already tried to get him at the Rolling Loud.
They did.
Yeah. They tried to get him at the Rolling. They just couldn't get him at the Rolling Loud. The reason why they couldn't get him at the Rolling Loud was because Rolling Loud wasn't set up like what was 10 Summers. They had different.
I don't think y'all spot that, homie. I don't think y'all was slick enough to spot that. The father says, "Oh, they tried to get him at Rolling Loud, but they couldn't get him at Rolling Loud." Oh, because Rolling Loud wasn't set up like 10 Summers. The festival was called Once Upon a Time. The festival wasn't called 10 Summers. Rewind it again, and hopefully y'all catch on this time. Again, while discussing people trying to murder Draco, after he talked about them wanting to get Draco because he didn't want to sign to the Bloods, he mentioned people wanting to get Draco at Rolling Loud. Now, replay this conversation again and keep that in your head.
So like I said, the jealousy and the envy start kicking in, coming from different groups. Because you got to understand, before that incident happened to him, you got to understand that a group already tried to get him at the Rolling Loud.
They did.
Yeah. They tried to get him at the Rolling. They just couldn't get him at the Rolling Loud. The reason why they couldn't get him at the Rolling Loud was because Rolling Loud wasn't set up like what was 10 Summers. They had
10 Summers obviously was not the festival name. 10 Summers is DJ Mustard's label. When talking about the people who tried to kill Draco at Rolling Loud, he accidentally says DJ Mustard's label's name. I don't know if Mustard is involved in Draco's death. I don't know nothing about that. I don't know. I don't know. Everything is allegedly. My name is alleged. Everything. I don't know nothing about nothing. All right. Since we all playing dumb here, I don't know nothing. But what I do know is when the father, seconds after talking about they wanted to get Draco because he ain't want to sign to the label, Draco said during Vlad TV, "Man, I didn't sign to the label, so they sent the Bloods at me. They sent dudes at me." Then the father is talking about how the Bloods try to get Draco at Rolling Loud, and the first thing out of his mouth is, while talking about the Bloods that try to get him, is 10 Summers. Now, I don't think that was accidental. I think the father knew exactly what he was doing. Exactly what this is what the father was talking about seconds before pivoting to the Rolling Loud conversation. He talks about the label extensively. He knew what he was doing, man.
We just gonna be watching our back because I'm not signing with anyone. I make my money in the streets, and the type of money that they was trying to dump off on him to get him to say he was making that money in the streets. So he felt like, why should I sign with you guys? I can get that type of money out of the streets, regardless of my rap stuff. So he didn't want to sign. So a lot of them felt like he is thinking that he's bigger than the program. So we need to show him that he ain't. So that to me is just envy and jealousy. He don't got to sign with y'all.
Yeah, I think also it's safe to say, like you said, it's all speculation because there's no definitive storyline in that regards. But these are the things you kind of put together from the story that we know, So yeah, I also wanted to just make that a statement. But as far as how I feel about it, I I think to kind of piggyback on what my dad was saying a little bit.
Pops got to talking too much. The son got to step in like, hold on, Pops. You making it hot for us, man. Hold on, bro. Hold on, Pops. You can't be giving it up like this during this interview, bro. We still got to go back to this. Well, not hood because they probably rich, but we got to go back to the streets, man. We still got to walk the streets of LA, Pops. You making it too hot for us, man. But let's get back to this Rolling Loud story. What exactly took place to Rolling Loud according to Draco's father? So he says that Draco told him personally that they tried to get him, but they couldn't get him at Rolling Loud like they did at Once Upon a Time because Rolling Loud security was just way too tight and they wasn't letting nothing go down.
They had different security.
No, you talking about Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time, yeah. Sorry about that. It was set up differently, and they couldn't get to him like that. And so by the time the moves that they made to try to get, because actually the first attempt to get him was at Rolling Loud. That's what a lot of people don't know. They tried to get him there first, but they couldn't because the way the security was set up. And I got total big details from people that was, I know. Because it wasn't nothing but 2 weeks later he was dead. And matter of fact, Rolling Loud was the 12th.
I'm not.
Yeah, that was the 12th. The Rolling Loud, I think that was the 12th of December. So what was it? 6 more days was the 18th. He did the Once Upon a Time. That was 6 days later, and he was dead. So if you do the math on all of that, he telling Kevin to get over there 2 weeks before that. Then he does the Rolling Loud, and he literally said with his mouth, "Hey, they tried to get me." He said it. He said they tried to get me at Rolling Loud, but they couldn't. They tried to get me at Rolling Loud, but they couldn't get me at Rolling Loud because the security was too deep. And at that particular time, there was a big group too. It was a lot. It was a lot of people too. From what I heard, it was a bunch. It was a bunch of guys, like 50, 60 guys. But they couldn't get to him. Yeah. So
Lorenzo, what?
I'm not surprised by that because I knew that already, bruh. I knew that already, man. Listen, these dudes knew they really stood no chance against Draco. They wasn't gonna out-rap or out-star Draco. Draco was like a shooting star. Draco was out of here. Like Draco was on his way to becoming the biggest rapper in LA. And I wrote you, bro. I think Draco would have been a mainstream artist right now if he was still alive. That's just 100% fact, right? So these dudes knew that it was over with. All right, YG at the time was a bigger quote-unquote artist than Draco the Ruler, but they knew it was just a matter of a year. Draco was gonna surpass YG. Now Draco would have had all the power. Now Draco would have had all the money, and they had to eliminate Draco, man. But they didn't have the courage to deal with Draco in the streets because they understand, like, y'all can't move in 50s all the time, bruh. Y'all can't move in hundreds all the time. Y'all gotta move separately, y'all day-to-day life. Draco seen YG at the club. Again, the story is out there, documented. They put a gun in YG head. Like, YG's, man, I don't want no smoke, man. Now listen, man, y'all better be lucky me and Pops don't get in the same room together, man. Y'all better be. Listen, Pops was kind of held back because the interviewer ain't really want to get into the, meats and potatoes of it. Y'all better hope me and Pops don't get in the same room together. Do you understand what we'll put up a triple-double. As a matter of fact, I might do that soon. I'm gonna reach out to Pops, man. If I can find his Instagram. Oh, no. I gotta dive deep into this story, man. Hold on, man. And we gotta, the 10th summer slipping is, that was not accidental in my eyes. Hell nah. Now, he spoke on YG getting raided, and he tried to speak in code, but he said a lot without saying much. Here's what he had to say in regards to YG, house being raided for the search warrant in relation to Draco the Ruler's death.
What do you guys think about YG being raided by the feds?
That's a good question.
Now, well, as a dad, I don't be wanting to pinpoint or pick anyone and say this person, or that person. But what I am going to say, as being his father, anybody that had anything to do with that needs to be held responsible for that. That's how I'll put that. Anybody that had something to do with, anyone who had something to do with that need to be held responsible for that. And this is my, people try to act like, a dad is not supposed to mourn. A dad is not supposed to be upset. A dad is not supposed to, no, man, you know what? I'm cool on all that. If you or whoever you are, wherever you from, whatever your deal is, if you had something to do with murdering my son, you need to be held responsible for that. That's what I can say on that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a comment on that.
I don't know who did it because I wasn't there. So I can't say, I can't reply to that and say, okay, well, you know what? YG's house got raided or whatever happened with that situation. I'm cheering with some pom-poms and, and like a cheerleader. No, because I wasn't there. I don't know if YG had anything to do with that. And he's a responsible party that actually stabbed my son. But what I am saying is this: whoever did do that need to be held responsible.
The OG said what needed to be said, man. He said a lot without saying a lot, right? Because obviously he still lives in LA. He can't really say certain things, right? And I feel bad for him, man, right? Because he should be able to speak on his son's death freely without those savages trying to murder him because he speak on it. You feel me? Like, he should be able to speak on his son's death freely. But he said a lot without saying a lot. Get all them dudes locked up. Hold all of them accountable. Man, but y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think, man. Y'all think that slip up was accidental, or you guys think that slip up was real? Let me know in the comment section, okay? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, click on this video right here to find out how everybody came together today to expose Charlamagne the God. I'm going to see you guys in the Charlamagne the God video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.